And now
My name is Angie Juarez. Okay. My name is Angie Juarez. I'm a disaster case manager with Road Community Health. I've been doing this role for, I think, about a year and a half now. We started in October 2021, I believe, in October 21. Yeah. So new updates. I don't have much besides the Royal Oaks mobile home. It's coming along. And I think that's going to be an opportunity for people to move in. And then I believe it may have an option for them to purchase mobile homes. I still not 100% sure on that one yet. I think it's still in the process or in the works with HUD housing and access.
mhm.
And Mayela's my coworker, so
Sorry.
go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mayela. I'm a disaster case manager with Road Community Health. I have been a disaster case manager, I believe, July of last year. So I was towards the end of the program, kind of. So my updates are kind of the same as Angie. Since we're with the same agency, we kind of have the same updates.
Did you want to explain a little bit about the process of what you do with clients, how you work with clients to get them to their recovered, quote unquote, state?
Yeah, so at the very beginning, they get assigned through, I guess, 211, and the state gives them the cases to us. We've been encouraged to try to move the cases, the people that are already working with the CCR program with Access, that they have a case manager and there's no other needs at the moment, to go ahead and close them with us as DCM, but they're still active with Access and with the other programs as well. And then if it's needed, then reactivate them and open up. They do have the flex funds available that we work with. We also work with them on resources available. We also try to work with, our main one is Access, the CCR program, and then also with Access, the home ownership program. That's our main, and as well, if they find a permanent housing, renting a place or something that they're interested in buying, the following steps on that. So basically, we are trying to gear them or work with them for recovery, for their permanent long-term recovery.
Have you, I know that Catholic Charities is winding down. Have you been getting new cases assigned to you that were previously Catholic Charity cases?
Yes, and that's the reason why we were suggested back in November and December to try to minimize our caseload, because we knew this was going to be happening. We just didn't have exact dates. The state did not inform us of exact dates or in cases. So just as an example, last week I got 3 new cases. So this week I'm trying to connect with them, see how far what they have done with the previous case man, follow the same footsteps of the same program, the same goal that they have towards their recovery, just to make it easier on them. Luckily, the cases that I have received, there's notations in Vision Link and all that, so we don't have to go the whole intake. But I personally like to meet them face to face for the first time, and hopefully I get most current release of information, so I'm able to discuss their situation with the other partners that I believe may be able to be assistance for them, and a good fit for their process of recovery.
Great. I know a lot of people entered into the home buying process, but didn't get all the way before the current WRRA funds ran out for home.
Mayela, do you want to add anything else that I may have forgotten?
Yeah, I think it's something similar. Sorry, I turned
Yeah,
off my camera.
unfortunately, we, through the CCR, sorry. So yes, the CCR program, it was for like rental assistance and all that, but if they were homeowners, because the program was first designed for homeowners, they were homeowners and they wanted to become homeowners. They went through the homeowner program, and unfortunately, I don't have any control of how many cases they were able to work with as a WRRA cases. And I do know, I've heard through different people that they don't have any funds and they're hoping to get something towards the end of March or April. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed to see, what kind of funding will be available for the ones that are on the wait list. I don't know how many were able to get in and how many were able to go through the whole program and get the funding available.
Hey, Angie, you're freezing up quite a bit. I wonder if you turned your video off, if your connection would be solid.
I can try to do that. 1 second.
We can cross our fingers.
Yes, and it doesn't help that I've been having internet issues in my home, but I'm trying my best to connect through the cell phone.
That seems to be working better, so.
Okay.
I wanted to pause a minute and welcome our new guest. Did you want to say hello and introduce yourself, or? And you know that we're recording, so if you don't want to turn your camera on, that's totally fine.
I didn't quite catch it. Is it for me as Angie?
No, I was welcoming our newest guest, Ms. Moni.
Yes,
Hi, glad to have you tonight.
thank you.
You bet. We'll go ahead and go with the presentation, and then at the end, if you'd like to check in, or now. Just want to make sure that you know that we're here and welcoming you in. Well, we'll go ahead with the presentation, and then we'll go back to check-ins afterwards. Unless anybody has any questions for our guests.
I would like to see what's the so what qualifies someone to work with a DCM and what disqualifies them?
We as an RCH, we don't make that decision. It has to go through the state or the 211. They verify if it's a fire survivor, and then they get to assign them a disaster case manager. At this time, I do know Catholic Charities is reducing their caseload, as well as the state. I don't know how much further the state will be wrapping it up, but they informed us, RCH, that hopefully till June. So if there's any survivors out there that got missed under the radar, or, fall in through the cracks or whatever, please outreach the 211. I think it's a hotline as well, and they would do the questionings and verify the disaster address, and then they will be able to assign it to one of us.
So would that be the same for if a survivor wanted to reopen their case with a DCM?
I would think that would be the case. They would probably need to contact the If their DCM is not currently available, I would think they would need to contact the 211 and let them know if, if there's resources that are still available, or if there's any flex funds available. I'm sure they will go ahead and, reconnect if it was closed and their previous disaster case manager is no longer taking any cases. I would think so, but I don't make that decision, but to do that 211, go through the questions, find out, if they have one, if the DCM is currently still working, some caseloads, or, whatever they decide to do.
Cool. Trying to think of more questions, but none are coming to mind right now. Anybody else have a question?
My only question is do they have access to lists of where the Catholic charity people want assigned?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Were Catholic Charities what?
I had a Catholic charity DCM, and they have wrapped up, and all of us that still had things to do were being reassigned, but my DCM didn't have access to a list of where I was going to be reassigned. So
I was under the impression Catholic Charities was gonna let the clients know who they were going to be reassigned to, because I know the state is also taking some cases, and some of them are coming to us, and some of them are staying with the state.
yeah. Well, my last communication with my DCM, she did not have access to who I was going to be assigned. So,
Well, then I guess the next course of action would be to call 211 or the disaster hotline number. Does that sound right?
Do you
I believe
still able to call Catholic Charities and see if they can guide you in the right direction?
I can try. So, I'm not sure. I haven't tried to see if the line's still open or not. So,
Yeah, you can try that. And if not, I don't mind giving you a call and seeing what we're doing with clients that are going from Catholic Charities to the state. And then I can give you maybe a little direction on where you should go or who to call.
okay.
Give me
Yes,
one.
I'm wondering if Sylvia might have these answers for us.
Sylvia is a great contact person as well.
Yeah, I can put Sylvia's number in there. That's a good idea. I was thinking Sylvia or Shannon, but I was wavering between.
She
So
was just
just
the
to
first one that
clarify,
popped up.
Walter, do you want to follow up with Sylvia then?
Yeah, yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Alrighty, which one is hers?
Anybody else have any questions they would like to ask tonight? Trying to think here.
Yeah.
Well, what I was told as a fire survivor with the DCM with Catholic Charities is that they sent me a letter, they closed out the case, but they also said, if you find that you have some needs, then you can recontact them. But in the meantime, they're getting out. So I would think we would start over with whoever's available for a disaster case manager, correct?
Yeah, you would start off if you still have fire related goals that were unmet. You could I would call Sylvia and just let her know, or you can call the 211 number and just let them know you were a fire survivor and that you have fire related goals that have come up. and then they would assign you. And what we were told is that you basically just go off. If new goals have come up, then we can address those. But with the flex funds, we basically see how much is left, and then we would go from there. So if there's not any flex funds left, then we would just give you resources out in the community that are able to help you with the goals you have. But if you do have flex funds left, then we can look at what your goals are. So you can't, yeah.
Okay.
So is the
So-
unmet needs table, is that still not going?
It's funded
It-
periodically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, because
And-
because last I heard they had funds and then I heard they didn't, then I heard they did.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
wanted to know,
and
like,
also, I'm sorry to interrupt, and
no, go ahead.
also with the unmet needs, it's a one-time deal. So if you've already been through the unmet needs, then there's other resources that DCMs need to look into. The unmet needs is only a one-time deal. So before we got to the unmet needs, they want us to needs. But if you've already been to the unmet needs, then we have to do the other options.
Okay.
That's why all resources are supposed to be exhausted before going to unmet needs. So that hopefully that's the last step.
Correct.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Right.
Sorry, I don't know how much of it was, said or anything, so I apologize.
No worries.
I hope I was able to answer Walter's question regarding the unmet needs. I don't know how much of it got recorded or I got put it out.
I think it sounded clear.
I got most of it.
Thank you.
What is flex funds?
Mayela?
So we each
Okay.
got, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's just an amount of money that gets awarded to each fire survivor.
Okay,
and they can
okay, I
use-
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what the DCM basically pretty much tells you, I guess, that you're done.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So basically your DCM with Catholic Charities helps you with different things. And then I guess they have a cap on how much they can help you with, like $5,000 or whatever, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's correct. I kind of explained it to my clients that we're kind of the middleman, where we kind of point you to the directions of the resources out in the community that are going to help you for long-term goals. For example, we do use Access a lot because they're helping with the long-term housing. And then let's say you have little goals here and there for that you're needing furniture right now. So we kind of help you with those goals, or if it's you lost your social security or your birth certificate, we help you with those goals. So it's kind of like the short-term goals that you're needing assistance with, and then we also bridge it to the long-term resources out in the community, because the DCM program is a short-term program, and as Angie mentioned, it's going to wrap up in, I believe, July. So once it's gone, so we're kind of the middleman on where to bridge you so that for your long-term goals, you have someone that's working with you.
Interesting.
Cool.
And do you as DCMs, do you work closely with the case managers over at Access for clients, or do you guys like just send them over there, like here's a person over here that you got to work with, and then kind of just let them do that?
No, we work pretty closely with Access actually, with their CCR program. We actually have weekly meetings with them. And we bring up cases, whether we can't get in contact or, let's say a client's moving into their apartment, and then we work together on things that we can purchase and then what they can purchase so that, the goals of the client is met. So we do work really closely with them.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, it doesn't look like we have a lot more questions unless somebody thought of something that I didn't notice. Anybody unmuting here? Anybody have a question that may be on someone else's behalf? Okay, hi.
Maybe it's not a question, I don't know, but along Sherry's point. So I had a DCM and I did a bunch of paperwork and financials and stuff, and I met with her. And not long after that, she had called and said that she was done. And that she had, she had talked to the worker that I have Access, and she would take it from there. And she also threw in, don't let anybody pressure you to close your case. And I don't know what that meant, because nobody has pressured me to close my case. But I'm on my toes. So I won't let anybody do that if that comes up. But at one point I asked her, I had said that I'm here in this apartment, and to me, I thought it was temporary. And I said, so is that considered permanent housing? And she said, yes.
What?
Yes, that's what she told me. And that's when I met her face to face, that when I brought all my financials and all that stuff. And I've done that two or three times now with the getting financial records and all that. And I do need help getting a bunch of documents. And it's been almost 3 years, but it's so, but it's not from here in Oregon. So like, yeah, I could use a bunch of help, and I've had other people that I've tried to relay information to, and they call Access, or they'll call the DCM number, and they tell them to call Access, and they call Access, and Access tells them, so they go back and they give up. So communication and information's been kind of hard to navigate.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys doing this every week. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd do without my Zoom group.
I know. I know.
Well, who was your DCM? At which group was she with?
My goodness. I can't even say her last name.
Did you get any financial help at all with them?
With them?
Jennifer Covarrubias?
I haven't had any financial help in a couple years.
That's it. That's enough.
Wow.
So,
No.
and then when I met my worker at Access to pick up the forms for Royal Oaks, she asked me if I had money left from FEMA, and I was like, yeah, I have some. I don't have all of it because I've been using it for furniture and needs. And she's like, well, hold on to it. So that's got me nervous because I only have like half of that. Been almost 3 years. So that makes me a little nervous, but then I just try to you know, because I don't know what they're gonna want. But that's the way it's been for almost 3 years, is I don't know. And so I just do whatever it is that I need to do.
Are you going back to Royal Oaks? And if you are, do you have that set up to where you're buying or renting?
I have no idea. I'm applying to go back to Royal Oaks.
So
And at the groundbreaking, like, everybody took my name and I, you know, but still, so I still keep, you know, putting one foot in front of the other and doing whatever I could do. And then give it up to give it up to the universe to, yeah. So I don't know. Everything's been up in the air this whole time.
I know, and if we would have waited, we'd be homeless all this time. It's like,
Yeah. Well, I was in the RV at the expo, and so I
there
had,
you go.
you know, I had to take, which is fine, but yeah, and I think of that often is yeah, we'd be homeless if we didn't. So
Well, I'm guessing that your DCM, I think maybe Jennifer Covarubas.
yeah. I was gonna
Um,
say Jennifer.
Yeah, her name, I can't ever say her name right. I probably didn't say it right this time either. But I'm guessing that when you asked her that question, a lot of the programs weren't rolling out yet the way they are now about being permanent housing, because I know the answer to that question. And your housing is not permanent housing because it's not where you want to end up as your end goal. So,
Yeah, no, but, and yeah, it was a while back. It was a few months at least back when I saw her. And she's very nice, by the way, and very helpful and does whatever she can do, but it's, you know, which she's being told. So,
mhm,
yeah, so I understand that.
awesome. I'm wondering if we're to the point where I should stop recording and then just, we can have this all to ourselves. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that.